Congresswoman Nancy Mace joins us now with more. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us on American Agenda.
Thank you. That was an epic fail by Robert De Niro and the Biden administration. They have politicized the system. This is weaponization. This is an abuse of power, what is happening to Donald Trump today.
Yeah, I agree with you. When you're looking at what he's going through now, basically his fate in the hands of 12 strangers, of course, the jury, and a clearly biased judge, what is your reaction as you watch this happen?
Well, if this can happen to Donald Trump, it can happen to anyone in this country. And that's what I represent a purple district, and I talk to independent voters a lot. And what they're seeing is this injustice. They're seeing the balance of power weighted by activist judges, by prosecutors that are political consultants for the DNC and the DCCC, trying to literally steal an election. I mean, the mainstream media is in on it. These activist judges are in on it, trying to kick him off the ballot, trying to throw him in jail, trying to do everything they absolutely can to keep him out of the White House. But guess what? The American people have had two back-to-back presidencies now, and they know that they were more prosperous, they made more money, they were more free, and all of that happened under Donald Trump.
We're talking about, the impact of this, and do people really even care? We have one from Quinnipiac asking voters if you'd be more likely or less likely to vote for the former president. You can see that less likely, 21%, more likely, 11%. So that kind of boils down to 10%. Then it makes no difference at all to 65% of the people. The Quinnipiac polled for this. What do you make of those numbers? To your point, we spent the last 5.5, 6, 7 weeks talking about this trial. The big issues at hand for the country, though, the economy, inflation, border, national security, those have all been put on the back burner. And I think that's part of the election interference the former president talks about so much. We're not talking about Biden's record.
Yeah, and they want this headline. They don't want to talk about immigration because Joe Biden has a wide open border. He's allowed over 9 million illegals to cross in this country. And guess what? Every state's now a border state. He doesn't want to talk about the infant that was killed just a few weeks ago in my district in Bluffton, South Carolina, by an illegal who was drinking under the influence and behind the wheel. They don't want to talk about Lake and Riley. They don't want to talk about Maddie Hines in the upstate of South Carolina, again, killed on the road by an illegal. We were all safer under Donald Trump. And if we're talking about immigration, Joe Biden is losing.
I think that's an excellent point. He's losing on a lot of things, as Bob pointed out. Also, Congressman, what do you make of the fact that the Biden campaign, specifically President Biden, plans to speak after the verdict comes out in this trial? We didn't hear from him for a really long time on those campus protests, and he tends to go silent on a lot of the other important issues, except for this one. He plans to have an opinion.
Right. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that this is strictly political, I don't know what else will. And it's really important that we look at all those who will be voting in November and try to win people back over, centrists and moderates, left of center, right of center, because this is a massive injustice. And I'm talking to independent voters every single day because I'm in the fight of my life in an election with Kevin McCarthy coming after me with $6 million right now. And I'm listening to voters and hearing what they're saying, and they're getting on board the Trump train. And we need to make sure we get every single person to recognize the injustices that are happening to Donald Trump, the politicization, weaponization of our justice system by Joe Biden, and how he's trying to steal an election with the mainstream media and by trying to get his opponent thrown in jail. That's what he's trying to do.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace, we are out of time. We appreciate you starting off our show. Stop back soon on American Agenda.
Thank you.